Welcome to Jackson Reviews, the channel where I go through the best and worst horror movies so you don't have to. I'm Sam Jackson. Today we're going to be reviewing Hatchet, which came out in 2006. Let me just say this is basically just a horror fan's gay fanfiction, basically. It gets so many, icons of horror throughout all four films. It's kind of impressive. I mean, all four films have Kane Hodder in it, who played Jason Voorhees in Friday the 13th Part 7 to Jason X. It has Robert Englund, aka Freddy Krueger himself, Mercedes McNabb from Buffy, Joshua Fuckmaps Leonard from the Blair Witch Project, a cameo from Todd, who played Candyman in the Candyman films and Death in Final Destination, if you believe that fan theory, which I do. As well as Josh Beaker, who directed Friday the 13th Part 7 and was involved in a hell of a lot of horror projects over the years, which I think is cool as hell. But the main thing is, do you remember when I said I'd distance my channel from Friday the 13th? That's really backfired recently. So, prepare yourself for some bad acting, weird plot decisions, and some of the worst developed characters I've ever seen in a film ever, but that is literally the charm of this. And the kills. So many violent kills. The movie starts with two of our favourite horror stars cameoing, Nightmare on Elm Street's Freddy and the Blair Witch Project's Josh. The two are alligator hunting and fishing, but Victor isn't a fan of people using his leg and decides to fully rip them apart. He starts with the Lakewood slasher himself, and then fuck for maps Josh, starting off with some extremely violent deaths in this movie. Now onto the actual characters. We meet main protagonist Ben, his friend Marcus, and this unnamed friend played by series creator Adam Green, who cameos in all the movies. Ben's bored of Mardi Gras and wants to go on some haunted swamp tour, dragging along his friend Marcus. We get another cameo from the Candyman himself, who tells us the swamp is abandoned, but also directs them to a secret swamp tour. We get the usual slasher character introductions, with topless girls Missy, played by Mercedes McNabb, and Jenna. There's Doug the creepy pervert and their tour guide Sean, played by Perry Shen, who is the only actor apart from Hodder to be in every single film. The group set off in a coach where we meet the two more victims, sweet old couple Jim and Sharon, as well as series heroine Marybeth Dunstan. There's a funny extended sequence showing how useless Sean is at his job, as well as a cameo from John Beaker. We learn about the legend of Victor Crowley, but don't worry, we'll get into our backstory soon. Sean then crashes a boat, causing it to sink, with Jim getting wounded due to an alligator bite. After a small walk, we find out more about Victor Crowley, and Sean loses his accent. Essentially, Victor was born deformed and bullied and shit, and then some kids were being dicks after his dad tried to hide him away. They accidentally set fire to the house using firecrackers, and then when his dad tried to save him, he stabbed him in the face with a hatchet, which is not how to save people from fires, Thomas Crowley. Because of this, Victor roams the woods at night looking for his father and getting revenge on anyone who comes to his swamp. So, obviously, no one believes Marybeth when she tells him this. Shannon and Jim head towards the old house, but Victor says fuck you to death and cuts Jim in two, then rips Shannon's head off in my favourite kill of the whole series. It's simple, but so badass. Marybeth shoots him and the group split up temporarily. They reunite pretty soon after, minus Doug, who is killed in another pretty badass kill. Ben and Marybeth head back to the house to find the Dunstan boys, and Victor uses an angle grinder on Jenna and cuts off Sean's head. The four characters reunite again and decide to try to kill Victor for good by setting him on fire. Basically, things don't go well, since there's 3 more installments after this and a 4th possibly planned. Beastie's body parts start getting thrown at Ben, Victor Crowley shows his face and says hi, and the group is able to douse him in gasoline and burn him. Then it starts raining. We get a slasher staple of a chase sequence, which is a pretty decent one. It leads us into a graveyard where Marcus is hugged and bashed to death, but when Marybeth and Ben run away, Crowley throws a pole into Ben's foot, causing a very painful and cringeworthy sequence, which seriously fucking gets under my skin, where they push a pole to an angle that'll kill Crowley, going through his neck. He seems to succeed, and the two make their escape in Robert Englund's boat, until Marybeth is pulled underwater by some unknown thing. It reveals just to be tangled in seaweed, which doesn't make much sense at the moment, and Ben reaches out to grab her, but psych! It's Victor, with Ben's ripped off fucking arm, Jesus Christ, yeah. Ben's pretty fucked, isn't he? The film ends with Crowley looking like he's about to kill Marybeth as the credits suddenly appear. A very abrupt ending to a very strange film, but honestly, it's pretty fucking awesome. The direction throughout is all pretty good, and I haven't really got any errors apart from the fact sometimes it looks low budget, but at the end of the day, if you've not got a budget for that, a couple of slightly average shots just don't bother me that much. There's some really good looking shots, especially when it comes to all the stuff just showing a lot of areas. When you see the Crowley house for the first time, it's very direct, you know exactly what you need to be looking at, all that kind of shit. All the characters, whenever they're on screen together, there's always some nice panning shots, also decent. You've got just the way a lot of the characters are portrayed. They're interesting, but not so interesting, you're sad that they're going to die, but not so annoying, you're happy when they do, which is a very good balance in a lot of slashers. You obviously figure out the core characters very early on in this film, which is one of the reasons why I like it, 'cause it's the same kind of stuff as the old Friday movies. You latch on to the main characters who have more than just 2 minutes of screen time, basically, and you know to follow them. They're the ones who you meant to get upset at the most. I mean, when Marcus died, I was actually quite shocked, because I thought, like, since this was kind of a slagging off of a lot of these kind of slasher movies that the black guy'd live, but it actually kind of became a staple of the series until the 4th movie that the ethnic minorities die last, which I kind of like. Throughout as well, you can tell that Kane Hodder is having a massive blast in the role, since by this point it'd been around about only 4 years since he last played Jason in Jason X, but also during those 4 years he was told he'd never play the character again, which wasn't technically true because of the games. And it's just kind of seeing Hodder continue that role which he perfected over the years. It's pretty decent, and all like the little cameos and stuff for horror fans is especially like badass, because at this point we didn't really have so many of the same actors put together, and it was only with the recent film Death House that's actually happened. I'm not really going to do a fun facts for this series anymore, because a lot of the fun facts I've already said at the intro, because pretty much for this series it's just look at all these cool horror people, and the fact that this film was pretty much made because Robert Englund and Kane Hodder weren't able to do Freddy vs. Jason together, which I think is sweet as fuck. It's literally two friends who are like, well, this guy Adam Green's written a film, should we both go for it? And he's like, yeah bro, fuck it. But no, overall, did I actually enjoy the film? Hell to the yes. This film is great. I mean, it's crap. It's not going to win any awards, maybe a couple of Razzies, and even that's kind of looking forward to it, but the fact that it's not very good is kind of the charm of this film, especially. I mean, it's not intending to be this massive blockbuster, it's literally just a 90-minute film which just homages all the awesome ridiculousness of 80s films, and that is what is cool about this. Also, the kills! For this series, instead of doing the fun facts, I've decided to do, like, just talk about the fucking gore, because all 4 of them, even the 4th, which is like the weakest for gore, are incredibly violent, and it's awesome. So I'm going to be giving like the 5 best kills, and why the hell not? So let's start. 5th is going to be Marcus, just because honestly his death shocked me and I didn't really see it coming. I kind of thought he was going to live, like I mentioned earlier, but he didn't, and I like just the hugging thing because it's kind of a reference to some of Jason's old kills, and I liked that, and the ending smash of the head is awesome as fuck. 4 is Jenna, just because A, she gets angle grinded in the mouth, which is violent as hell, but then when she's still alive her jaw is literally missing, which is cool still, like it's kind of just wide open and hanging partially off, and then after that she gets impaled on fucking Sean's dead body, which is badass as fuck. Number 3 is just kind of a combination of both Robert Englund's death and whatever is called Map Guy's death, just because seeing how violent it was at the start, you kind of know what you're in for, and I liked that a hell of a lot. 2nd is Jim's, because it's the first full on-screen kill where you get to see Victor actually doing shit, as well as the fact that it's awesome. He literally cuts a guy all the way down the middle whilst everyone else is like, what the fuck is happening? When he's just holding the body, he's like, cool, I can do this now. And just throws it away. It's awesome. Now obviously my number 1 kill, easily, Shannon's. Ripping it open, just seeing all the bits. Those are some awesome effects, especially for a movie which was made in a budget of $1.5 million. That's not much for that kind of awesome special effects, and yeah, it's cool as shit and I love it. So thank you very much for watching. If you did enjoy this, please be sure to like, share and subscribe, and I will see you next time for Hatchet 2. Goodbye.